Welcome to the podcast From Coffee to Cases, the show for small law firm attorneys who want to stop begging for leads and start building a business that runs on referrals and real relationships.
Hello and welcome back to From Coffee to Cases with Delisi Friday. Delisi is the founder of First Call Friday, where she helps lawyers turn everyday connections into steady referrals through systems that are simple and sustainable. My name is Kevin Rosenquist, and today we're talking about the hidden referral sources we all have in our lives. Delisi, welcome back.
Hello.
So hidden referral sources in plain sight. So what are we talking about here?
That's exactly what we're talking about. All of the hidden referral sources that people forget about and don't really think about. So think of these people as the people you're interacting with on a daily basis, but you never really thought to yourself, hey, that person could refer me business. Let's say you wake up in the mornings and after you drop your kid off at school, you always go to a local coffee shop to get coffee. You're probably seeing the same person over and over and over again. Maybe they can be someone who's a referral source to you. We think about family, friends. Family and friends are some of the easiest referral sources that anyone can have. And then you can take it a step further and say, okay, who are other people I'm interacting with who know me pretty well? Let's say you have like a general practitioner. You've seen this doctor for a decade. That doctor can probably refer you business. I can tell you my next door neighbor, Miss Holly. Miss Holly and I get along so well. And I'll tell you what, if there is ever a lawyer who needs help with referral marketing, Miss Holly is out there saying my name because she's my neighbor and we have a relationship and she knows who I help. My hairstylist, Mason, I see her every 3 months and we have conversations. We get along well. We talk about business. Referrals are huge if you're a hairstylist too. They
Absolutely.
go across multiple industries. And my hairstylist knows what I do and who I help. So I say hidden referral sources because I think people forget, even if they're in plain sight, these people are right there in front of you, but are you utilizing them to send you referrals? And it's totally possible. You just have to think about it.
Yeah, because these don't really seem like hidden referrals. You know, you're talking about for really close friends, neighbors, family. So why do you consider them hidden? Is it simply what you just said, that we don't think of them as referrals?
Yes. But here's the sad part. We all like to think that people know what we do and who we help. And the truth is, not everyone does.
Yeah,
I have family members who are not entirely sure what I do.
me
I
too.
have to remind them. So you're right. We all do.
Yeah.
We think they know what we do and who we help, and they don't. So the reason why I say they're hidden is because they're right in plain sight, but we forget how important it is to remind the people around us what we do and who we help. And let's say you did that once or twice, people forget. They're not thinking about you every single day or every single week. Like they have so many interactions with other people, they're not thinking about you.
Hmm.
Okay. So, my recommendation is for people to do this one little exercise. And honestly, it's going to piss a lot of people off. And I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make a difference. And here's the exercise. I challenge lawyers every single week to go about their daily lives. And when they talk to someone in their everyday life, ask them this simple question. Hey, Kevin, do you know what I do and who I help? And that one simple question will open your eyes to how many people you interact with on a regular basis who don't know, kind of know, and maybe you find out the ones who know really well and probably are your biggest referral cheerleaders. But it's so important to do on a regular basis and find out, oh man, I interact with Kevin once a week, but Kevin has no idea what I do and who I help. And I
Hmm.
bet if Kevin could refer me business, he would, because we have a great relationship.
It sounds great in practice, right? How can lawyers legitimately turn those everyday referral sources into lucrative connections though? Because I see what you're saying, but it doesn't just because they know what you do doesn't necessarily mean that they'll know exactly how to refer people to you, right?
Yeah. You have to make yourself referable and remind them what you do. So, social media is great because almost everyone has some kind of social media. And you can use social media to your benefit by just telling a story that reminds people what you do and who you help. People remember stories. And that's why stories are so big in marketing because it's easier to recall a story than a magic statement where someone says, I help lawyers make friends who refer them business. That's my magic statement. People might remember that because it's kind of cheeky. But
And it's
for the
unique.
lawyer,
It's unique.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And that's the purpose of a magic statement. But not every lawyer has one of those and they don't say it out loud. And they don't often talk about what it is that they do. For whatever reason, I see so many lawyers who talk to me and say, well, I don't want to annoy people. I don't want to talk about what I do so much. And people are like, oh, we get it. You're a lawyer. And that is what leads to people not talking about it at all. And not talking about it at all is just going to hurt you. I actually think it's great if someone gets slightly annoyed by it. I had a family member refer a lawyer to me the other day, and they said, don't worry. I told them, first, call Friday because they're so used to how many times I say, first, call Friday. And I'm like, that's a compliment. You remembered the way I say it. And that's what I want. If they don't remember it, they're not going to send you business.
Hmm.
So the easiest way to turn them into referral sources is tell people what you do and who you help. If you keep it a secret, no one knows how to refer you cases or how to refer you business or who is the right person to refer you business. So don't keep it a secret. Now, for everyone who takes that advice really, really literally, I'm also not telling you to be super aggressive and overly annoying because you say it every single day and you sound like a sales pitch and people are bothered by it.
Which is what people are worried about, right?
Yes,
Lawyers are worried
yes,
about. Yeah. Hmm.
exactly. And that's why they don't do it. But there is a happy medium where you can still tell people what you do, but not overwhelm them to the point where they don't want to talk to you anymore. And that's really the key. Just be casual about it. When someone says, "Hey, how was your day?" Tell them how your day was. We all talk about work when someone asks us that question. Just think about how you're responding to that question and help them see what it is that you do and who you help.
And in your coffee shop example, I mean, if who knows, maybe the barista's parents are talking about their estate plan, and you're an estate planning attorney, and they're like, I know somebody, this guy who comes in every week or every day, and seems like a nice guy. If you want, I can get his info for you or something like that. You're right, like that. Those
Yes.
little things like that, can really put in little bugs in people's ears.
Mhm. Oh,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Hmm. I'm undoubtedly lawyers might be listening to this, shaking their heads, saying like it's too easy. This isn't going to work. Like this can't be true. I don't know what Delisi's talking about. What would you say to them?
First, I would say, yeah, it is too easy because it's people you already know. And people who already know you are some of the best referrals that you can have. So, yes, it's too easy because these aren't your cold leads. These aren't like we talked about the traffic light in a previous episode. This isn't your red light. It's not even your yellow light. These are people you have real relationships with. So, it should be easy. I'll give you an example because we all very naturally talk about our days. Whenever we meet someone, we have certain questions we ask each other over and over and over again. Hey, Kevin, nice to meet you. So, what do you do? Like it's a very common question,
Hmm.
but it can work for any industry, not just lawyers. I'll give you an example. I went to Las Vegas. I was speaking at the Lunch Hour Legal Marketing Summit, and I was there networking, doing everything you're supposed to do at a conference. And very naturally, we all talked about what it is we do and who we help. And that conversation led to me sharing what my husband does and who he helps. Because that's another common question, like a flow in the conversation is now you're like, oh, are you married? What does your spouse do? And so I told the lawyer I was having a conversation with, oh, my husband works for Stark and they sell temporary walls. And he was like, what? Temporary walls? What's a temporary wall? How do you sell a wall? And so I told him, I said, temporary walls are the walls you put up like in an airport or a data center or a hospital when there's renovations. If you put up drywall, it's big and it's ugly and it's messy and it takes forever.
Hmm.
But the temporary walls that my husband sells, it's portable, it's fast. You put it up, you can reuse it again and again, and it goes up in minutes or hours versus days. And it's great for the environment. That's all I did. I just very casually, like I just explained to you, said what my husband does. And the next day the lawyer comes up to me at the conference and he goes, Delisi, I need you to know I can't unsee walls now because of you. I said, what do you mean? He said, did you know the casino is having renovations? And they did not put up any walls around the renovations where we're gambling last night. And I just thought to myself, Delisi's husband's company should probably talk to the Bellagio about putting some of those walls up because I don't want to see all this construction
Yeah,
while I'm gambling at the blackjack table.
sure.
And I thought, oh my gosh, I may have just got my husband a referral from a lawyer just because I very casually talked about what it is that he does. And that's prime example of how these everyday conversations can lead to referrals. You just have to have these everyday conversations. Listen to this podcast episode, have me in your ear, and be like, oh, yeah, Delisi said I should be telling people what I do and who I help. And those little things can lead to business, not just for you, but for your spouse and for your family. It happens naturally every day. You just have to do it.
Hmm. And as you're saying all this, I'm thinking this could probably apply. You mentioned you apply to a bunch of different career paths, but also just the entire office within a law firm. I mean, is this something that can be beneficial, perhaps even more beneficial to the other people within the law firm?
Yes, it's the ripple effect.
Yeah.
You want everyone else in your law firm to be doing exactly what I just explained. Imagine how many referrals you could get if your receptionist thought about this, if your intake manager thought about this, if your paralegals, your legal assistants, your accounting manager, your like all those people. Imagine what would happen if they all thought like this. In fact, I challenge everyone listening to this podcast episode to make it mandatory requiring. Please listen to this episode of From Coffee to Cases so you can all refer business to this law firm and we can all have jobs and we can all have more clients because these referrals are everywhere. And I'll give you another example. I tell people all the time referrals happen everywhere. You never know where it's going to come from. Are you on Facebook?
Kind of like I have an account. I don't really go on there very much.
Okay. I'm on Facebook and I'm a part of different moms Facebook groups.
Yeah,
So I
my wife
want to
does
know
that
like
too.
okay, yes. So a lot of people are. And I'm on these mom Facebook groups because I want to know like what is my kid going to do for the weekend? Is there something going on in the community that I'm not aware of? Do we all need to know it's going to freeze? You better cover your pipes or whatever, right? Those places are gold mines for referrals. I can't tell you how many times someone in my mom's group has said, hey, does anyone know a probate lawyer? Hey, does anyone know a divorce lawyer? Or they'll make their profile anonymous and they'll say, I need to leave my husband. Does someone recommend a divorce lawyer that I can reach
Mhm.
out to? I know this is a safe space. And I respond to every single one of those posts. And I'm like, I know the lawyer. I know the lawyer. And if you encourage your staff to be advocates of your law firm and think about how important it is to share what they do and who they help, things like a Facebook group and suggesting who they can reach out to can be a referral source, and your team can be the ones doing it, maximizing all of your referral efforts. And that's what you want. You don't want your referrals to be just reliant on you. If you could get your whole office to think about referrals like this, all of them can be generating business into your law firm. And I'll take it a step further. The example I just gave you of the Facebook group, because I refer business all the time to moms groups. If you shared the list of attorneys you refer cases out to in other practice areas, we talked about it in a previous podcast episode.
Mhm.
Imagine, just this is the dream. Imagine if one of your employees saw that Facebook group message and the message was, "Hey, you guys, I'm sadly going to get a divorce. I need a divorce attorney, and you are a probate law firm." But your staff knows that anytime someone calls for a divorce, you send it to Bob Smith. Now your staff member can say, hey, you know what? I work in a law firm, and anytime someone calls us, we always send our divorce cases to Bob Smith. He does a really good job. You should call him. And then your staff member can go back to the office and say, Kevin, I just wanted to let you know there was someone in the moms group I'm a part of looking for a divorce attorney, and I mentioned Bob Smith's name. Now you or someone else in your office can go call Bob Smith and say, Bob, just want to let you know, one of our employees in the office had someone in a mom's group ask for a referral for a divorce lawyer. They sent your name. I hope they give you a call. And
Mhm.
now Bob Smith is like, wait a second. You're telling me that this law firm has people in their staff referring cases to me too that aren't incoming calls to the law firm? They're just everyday referrals. Imagine how powerful that would be.
That's
Just,
powerful.
I
Mhm.
mean, oh, it could anyway, I love this stuff. Like, it would just be beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's really you're right about that. The extra power of that. It's not just hey, someone called looking for if we knew someone. Here's a referral for you. It's more like a yeah, someone was talking about it, and I was like, hey, I know the person to call. You got to call Bob Smith, and Bob's like, nice, like that makes Bob feel good. So
Yes,
Bob's gonna remember
absolutely.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And your staff feels like they help too. I
Hmm.
mean, now it goes back to the last episode where we talked about empowering your team. It's so wonderful when a law firm can empower their team to do things that are beneficial to the entire firm. This is one of those things, and it's so simple. You just have to, again, mandatory sharing this podcast episode with your staff.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good idea. And tips are welcome.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to today's episode of From Coffee to Cases. Remember, referrals can come from the network you already have in your daily life. Remind them what you do and who you help. Don't keep it a secret. Don't be shy to refresh their memory from time to time, in a natural way, of course. And if you'd like more ideas for building referral relationships, head to firstcallfriday.com. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. We greatly appreciate it. Delisi, always love chatting with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast. And please share this episode with a peer who can also benefit from case referrals. For more information or to connect with me, Delisi Friday, visit firstcallfriday.com.